Well, Coach, let's start with your hurdlers. How special is that you've got two guys that believe and have a legitimate shot at going 1-2 like they've been doing all season basically.
Yeah, these two guys. Of course, Connor's been with us for a number of years, and Connor's just been a guy that just continues to get a little bit better all the time. And now we got JQ is here and adds a different element that's really helped. I know it's helped Connor, and Connor has really helped JQ as well. You can tell. We were talking before this started, very seldom do you have two guys, two ladies, anybody that's as competitive as these guys are that get along, that's just the way athletics is. But these guys they're trying to beat each other, but they also have feelings for each other, which is great. And they have a legitimate shot to run real well this weekend. It's about the rounds. You got to be ready to run the first time you step on the track, and these two guys have been competitive from day one. So I look forward to watching this. I think that this is going to be a fun part of the national championship for Texas A&M.
And overall, with how you guys finished at ACCs, just how are you feeling, as a team heading into this national?
Yeah, I think going in as the men, we have some people that are in that top group, and we have some people that have snuck into the competition. Then we had two or three that we really thought were going to be in this. Sam Whitmarsh, missing out on getting Sam in here like by 2/1000th of a second. That was a tough one for us to lose him, because they only take 16 in each event. But I guarantee you, if Sam gets in the event, he's not 16th. So we had some situations happen this year indoors. It's just the way it fell. It's an unusual. But I'm pleased with the group we're taking. Our quarter milers are running pretty well right now. Our short hurdlers are doing well. We have a good high jumper on the men's side. So I'm excited about this group of men. Whether you have enough bullets, you never know going to a national championship ever. People that say they're predicting this group is going to win this and this and this, and we're going to be this and that, very seldom does it happen that way. On the ladies' side, again, we had one barely out of the competition, but Lamara kind of leads this group going in. Senior, jumping very, very well right now. It would be interesting what Cameron can do. Our Jamisha in the quarter. I think Jamisha has just not had a race that's challenged her to run her absolute best. She seems to have got in the slower of the two heats, if there is a final like that, and she needs to be in the other heat, and I think she's ready to run better. 4x4, I think we're ready to run a little bit better too. Arkansas is running very well right now, but if we can get out and get on top, same with the men. If we can get out and get on top, and our first runner come in where our second runner may be in the lead, which we're very capable of doing that. I think, especially on the men's side, I think we'll be hard to beat from behind. On the ladies' side, we're going to have to run a great race. All these races are going to have to be great, but that race, it'll be interesting to see how that one plays out as well.
You mentioned Lamara. It's hard to say she surprised us because we obviously know how good she is, but are you even a little in awe of how, not just how well she's jumping, how well she's jumping this early in the season?
Well, yeah, I think that, indoor is indoor, outdoor is outdoor. Indoor is a training ground to get you prepared to go outside. And for her to do what she has done, at least that's philosophically, that's the way that I try to look at it, and I try to our team to look at it that way as well. It just so happens that right along that way there ends up being a national championship indoors. So, you know, you want to try to be very successful and do well at this meet, but track is outside. But Lamara, you know, the growth that she has had over the last 2 years has been significant. And it's not all physical growth at all. It's her mental approach to the event. I think Coach Zatania has done a very good job with her. She's had, of course, this is his second year to work with her. So he's had an impact on her, and I'm pleased with the way she's doing things now. Yeah.
We're getting ready to talk to Heather. What do you have to say about how she seems like kind of like Connor, another one of those athletes who's just kind of gotten a little bit better each year. And, you know, if you look at her mark SEC this year, way better than what she was going into this one.
No, that's right. And you can, I think when you talk to her, you can see that she has a level of confidence about herself that she hadn't had. Now she knows, I can do this. I can reach my full potential when I need to reach it, and then the environment may help me even to do a little better. So, but she's grown a lot here. So I look for her to do very well at this meet as well. You know, the other one is Samira in the dash. She got in this meet. She's run the exact same time about the last 5 times in a row. She went 7:22, 7:22, 22, 22, 22. That's hard to do. In fact, if you tell somebody, go out there and run 22 again, I don't know if you can do that. She's right on the edge of doing something. I think that when you have that kind of consistency, something good's going to happen. So I think she's going to do well. And Janye Thomas, our long jumper, multi-eventer, she didn't get into multi, but in the long jump, she's right on the edge of doing very well. She's jumped 21.8, 21.6, 3/4, 21.8, something right in that area. But she's hit a couple scratches that look like she's really ready to jump a long way. So we'll see what she does as well.
And then for Lamara, or people who are, you know, performing at that kind of elite level, that, you know, especially this year, you got to think not just within the team, but, you know, Olympic aspirations. How do you try to, is there any kind of adjustment you have to make in terms, you know, I know you talk about you want to be a smooth incline all the way through, knowing that they're going to be, that's also part of their season. Yeah,
you're a little bit more, when you have an athlete like that, I don't know, some meets aren't as important as other meets. For a younger athlete, every time they get to jump, it's important. Every single time they get to jump, it's important for them to jump and to get that training in. For an elite athlete like this, there's not that many times that you can really jump at your absolute best. So we regulate. We say she doesn't need to jump at this meet, and we skip a meet. We do something else during that meet. She doesn't do another event. But when you have an elite athlete in another event and they're able to do something else, we try to do that with them from time to time as well. So, yeah, you have to. I kind of always relate it back. I think a pitching coach has got the same problem. Theirs is a little more condensed than ours, but you can't throw that guy very many times. You know, I mean, really throw him. And so I know, you know, it's a challenge for an elite. It's always a challenge for an elite athlete, and that's why we're in the business. We're trying to get as many elites as we can get. Yeah.
So besides Lamara, Connor, and Jaquan in the finals, do you have other athletes like competing in the championship? How do you feel about the other athletes that are competing?
Well, I mean, we have a number of athletes that are competing in all kinds of events. I mean, Ahmad Robinson's in the quarter, Jamisha Honoris in the quarter. You know, we have our long jumper, like we just talked about, John. We got the 60 meters with Killebrew. We've got Cameron Dixon's going to be in the dash, well, we'll see. Pereira is in the high jump. You know, so we have people that, we have a lot of people that are in individual events. And to answer your question, I guess, you know, that we feel fine about where we are right now with those people. If that's the question you're asking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, you used to coach at LSU back in like the 1980s, if I remember correctly. Do you believe that this current A&M track and field squad can compete with those LSU squads that won national championships?
Well, we've won 9 national championships here at Texas A&M, so we can compete with anybody.
All right.
I don't necessarily would go back. I started at LSU in '87, and I was there for 17 years. But yeah, I mean, we've won 9 national championships here at Texas A&M. I was fortunate enough to win more than that at LSU, but you know, A&M can compete with anybody.
And then I've got a question for you, Coach. So we talked about, obviously there's physical elements to it, but right now, going into a championship with the best of the best in the country, how much of those little mental tweaks that you can make to take your team and those athletes just to that next level? Yeah,
it's learning how to temper yourself too. I mean, you know, we travel tomorrow, the day after tomorrow. We're a few days away from competing. You can't compete today. You know, you can't compete tomorrow. So you got to learn how to keep your emotions in check. If you let your emotions get away, because sport is about your emotional preparation, how you prepare yourself, and you can't do that for a period of days. You have to think about other stuff. You got to get things out of yourself and think about training. Think about your teammates, think about some other things, and then when it's really time to compete, you're really focused at that time. You can't compete today, and you got to learn how to do that. And so that mental part of it, like you're talking about, yeah, I mean, it's that last day, it's that last preparation, that last little bit of being able to really focus on exactly what you have to do at that time. And not be so general, because the more you're out, the less specific you become, and that's not good.
Anything for all good? Perfect. Thank you, Coach.